Hello guys, if you are looking for a wonderful preparation schedule for CAT which tells you what you should do on a week-by-week basis and a day-by-day basis, go no further than to IM. So just check out the description here. It's a fabulous link. Click that and then just see what variant of it works for you. Download this, stick it somewhere and you're good to go. Best wishes. 3 reviewers, Amal, Bimal and Komal are tasked with selecting questions from a pool of 13 questions. Questions can be created by external subject matter experts, SMEs, or by one of the 3 reviewers. Each of the reviewers either approves or disapproves the question that is shown to them. Their decisions lead to eventual acceptance or rejection of the question in the manner described below. Each of them looks at a question and says yes or no, and then there is a complex algorithm finally whether the question gets accepted or not. A question is created by an SME, it is reviewed first by Amal, then by Bimal. If both approve, then the question is accepted and is not reviewed by Komal. Both are yes, then it is not reviewed by Komal. If both disapprove the question, it is rejected and is not reviewed by Komal. So Komal comes only when it's a tiebreaker, I'm assuming. Let's see. If one of them approves the question and the other disapproves it, then the question is reviewed by Komal. Then the question is accepted only if she approves it. So if it's a tie, she comes in and then she takes the final decision. A question created by one of the reviewers is decided upon by the other 2. If a question is created by Amal, then it is first reviewed by Bimal. If Bimal approves the question, then it is accepted. Otherwise, it is reviewed by Komal. The question is then accepted only if Komal approves it. If Bimal approves, it's in. If Bimal doesn't approve, it has another chance. And Komal could approve, then it goes through. The question is then accepted only if Komal approves it. A similar process is followed for the questions created by Bimal, whose questions are first reviewed by Komal and then by Amal, only if Komal disapproves it. Questions created by Komal are first reviewed by Amal and then if required by Bimal. The cycle: Amal, Bimal and Komal, Bimal, Komal and Amal, Komal, Amal and Bimal. The following facts are known about the review process after its completion. So this is a process and then the results. Q2, Q6, Q9, Q11 and Q12 were rejected and the other questions were accepted. Amal reviewed Q2, Q3, Q4, Q6, Q8, Q10, Q11 and Q13. Bimal reviewed Q2, Q4, Q6 through Q9. What each of them reviewed. I'm not going to read all of that. We're sensing how we're going to grab this data. I can't remember all of this. Q1 to Q13 we're going to put who reviewed. Amal has reviewed a bunch, Bimal has reviewed a bunch, Komal has reviewed a bunch. We're going to say what has been accepted, what has been rejected, and then we'll make inferences after that. Lovely. Questions 1 to 13. Q2, Q6, Q9, Q11 and Q12 were rejected. Q2 was rejected. Q6, Q9, Q11 and Q12. They were all rejected. And then the others were accepted. Amal reviewed only Q2, Q3, Q4. So Amal, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q6, Q8, Q10, Q11 and Q13. Bimal reviewed Q2, Q4, Q6, Q2, Q4, Q6 through Q9. So Q7, Q8, Q9, Q12 and Q13. Komal reviewed only Q1 through Q5. Komal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Q7, Q8. Nice. Q9, Q11 and Q12. We put in who's reviewed, what are that, all of this. We filled all of the data in. Let's have a look at this and see if we can make any inferences at all. The first one was approved after having been reviewed by, sorry, I've written it as Kamal, it's Komal. Don't worry about it. I've written it as Kamal, it's Komal. Some typo, I've just copied everything down. So don't worry about it. Komal has reviewed and approved it, but this must have been created by Bimal. Komal reviews, approves straight away. So no second process. This one's reviewed by Amal, Bimal and Komal. So to start with, one of them has not created it. If any one is created, only the other 2 can review. So if all 3 have reviewed, then this has been created by an SME or subject matter expert. So I know that there's one more here. This is also by a subject matter expert. All 3 have reviewed it. One more here. It's also by a subject matter expert. Created by a subject matter expert. Nothing else anywhere. Lovely. So we can fill that in. So we can also fill in who created what. So this one The first one, if you say this is created by, first one was created by Bimal. Second one, reviewed by Amal and Komal. It could have been created by Bimal, not by SME. SME means it would have been Amal and Bimal, then only it will go to Komal. So this again was created by Komal, rejected it, and then Amal accepted it. This is approved by Komal, so B, and then approved straight away. Amal, Bimal, then rejected. Either Komal has created it or SME has created it. If an SME has created it, then it has been rejected by Amal and Bimal. If Komal has created it, then it has been rejected by Amal, then by Bimal. Both have rejected it, either case. Okay, then Amal rejects, goes to Bimal, Bimal also rejects. SME, both reject, both are possible. Bimal and Komal, this should have been created by Amal. Bimal rejects it, then Komal accepts it. It will go to Komal only if Bimal has rejected it. This one is SME. We don't know, this is split, but Komal has approved it. This goes to SME, this is split, but Komal has rejected it. This goes to SME, this is split, but Komal has approved it. Question number 9 has been created by Amal. Because Bimal and Komal have reviewed it. Bimal has rejected it, and so too has Komal. So Amal has approved it. This is created by Komal. Amal and Komal have reviewed it. That means it must have been created by Bimal. Komal rejects it. It goes to Amal. Amal also rejected it. Last one reviewed by Bimal and Komal must have been created by Amal, and then rejected by Bimal, rejected by Komal. This one created by Komal, first reviewed by Amal, rejected, then reviewed by Bimal, in which case it is accepted because the final state is accepted. So with this grid, we can figure out pretty much who created each of those questions with some allowance. This could have been SME or K, but Amal and Bimal alone have reviewed. So the only instance of only Amal and Bimal have reviewed, or only Amal and Bimal have reviewed. All three, only Amal and Bimal. All three, only Amal, no Bimal. This is Amal and Bimal. Okay, this could have been SME or K. Sorry, this has been accepted. Just have to be careful. This could have been K or SME. So we cannot make this inference. Either both could have approved it, in which case it gets approved directly. If it had been created by K, then rejected by Amal, and then accepted by Bimal. So two possibilities exist. This is SME or K. If Amal and Bimal are the only ones who have reviewed it, it would have been SME or created by K. Both are possible. Lovely. So just to recap, if SMEs have created it, both approve, then it gets approved. Both reject, then it gets rejected. If one approves and one rejects, then it goes to K. And then K takes a decision. If Amal creates, then it goes to Bimal, reviews it first. If Bimal approves, it gets approved. If Bimal rejects, it goes to Komal. If Bimal creates it, Komal takes the first decision. If Komal disapproves, then it comes to Amal. If Komal creates it, then Amal looks at it. If Amal rejects it, then it comes to Bimal. Right? So just a quick recap of the mechanism there. Amal, Bimal, Komal, these three should have been SME. After this, we fill step by step. We know B's and A's very clearly. These two are SME or K. Both possibilities exist. If this were SME, it would have been rejected by both of them. If it were K, then it would have been rejected by Amal first and then Bimal. Both are rejecting. Here, if this were SME, then accepted by both of them. If it is K, rejected by Amal and then accepted by Bimal. Okay. Lovely. We've got this whole thing. Let's go to the question. How many questions were definitely created by Amal? Let's see this. This one, question number 7 is definitely created by Amal. Question number 9 is definitely created by Amal. 12 is definitely created by Amal. We know it for everything except for SME or K in 2 cases. 11 out of the 13 we know who created. These two are SME or K. Amal, how many has he created? He has created 3. How many were definitely created by Komal? So this one is definitely from Komal. then nothing else. It could be 3, it could be 1, it could be 2. These two are ambiguous. One has definitely been created by Komal, that is this one. How many questions were definitely created by the SMEs? 1, 2, 3. These 3. The other 2 could have been SME or Komal. That ambiguity is there. The ones that were reviewed by all 3 are definitely created by an SME. Ones that were reviewed by only Amal and Bimal could be SME or K. Both are possible. So 3 were created by the SMEs for sure. How many questions were definitely disapproved by Bimal? Let's see, only the ones where Bimal has reviewed we need to check. So this one, we don't know. One of these 2 has approved, the other has disapproved. That's why we went there. So Bimal could have approved it. That we are not sure. This one of these is approved, the other has disapproved. Bimal could have approved, Amal could have disapproved, and then it would have gone to Komal. This again, we cannot be sure. This one, been rejected. If it had been created by an SME, both should have rejected it. If it had been created by K, again both should have rejected it. So Bimal has definitely rejected this one. Question number 6. This one, Amal has created, have been reviewed by Bimal. Because Bimal rejects it, it goes to Komal. So definitely Bimal has rejected this also. This one, once again it is Amal and Bimal. 1 yes and 1 no takes us to Komal. It's been created in SME, we don't know for sure. This one, Bimal and Komal. Only if Bimal rejects it will it go to Komal. So this has definitely been rejected. This one, Bimal and Komal. Amal has created it, it's been rejected. Both of them have rejected. Definitely Bimal has rejected. Last one, been approved. If it had been created by an SME, then both should have approved it. If it had been created by K, Amal rejects and Bimal approves. Definitely Bimal approves. How many have been definitely disapproved by Bimal? 1, 2, 3, 4. Answer should be 4. The approval ratio of a reviewer is the ratio of the number of questions she approved to the number of questions she reviewed. Which option best describes Amal's approval ratio? How much has they approved by the number she has reviewed? Approval ratio. So Amal has created a bunch of questions. Let's see which ones we know for sure that she has rejected. This one could have been rejected by one of them, not by both. It would have been Amal saying yes, Bimal saying no. This we can't be sure. Second one, Bimal has created, Amal has definitely approved. This is a definite yes. This don't know. This one, Amal, Bimal, there is an ambiguity. One of them has approved, the other has disapproved. Therefore, it has gone to Komal. So we don't know this. This scenario, SME or K, but getting rejected. If it is SME, both of them should have rejected. So Amal has rejected. If it is K, again Amal should have rejected. Should have gone to Bimal. Bimal should have also get rejected. So this is a no. This one, SME has been approved finally. So Komal has approved it. Between these two, there's 1 yes and 1 no. So we don't know for sure. This Amal, Komal has created, Amal has approved straight away. This is a definite yes. This one, Bimal has created it and then it has been disapproved. So it's gone to Komal first, who said no. It's gone to Amal then. Amal has also said no. This is also a no. Final thing, SME or K, it has been approved. If it were SME, both of them should have approved it. If it were K, then Amal has said no and then Bimal has approved. So Amal, we don't know. Bimal has definitely approved this. Amal, we don't know. So Amal has reviewed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions, of which is definitely rejected 2, definitely accepted 2, is approved 2 for sure, rejected 2 for sure. There are 4 that could have gone either way. 2 yeses sitting there, 2 no's sitting there, 4 that have gone either way. Which option best describes Amal's approval ratio? His approval ratio could be 2 out of 8 or 6 out of 8. There are 2 ticks for sure and 2 being rejected for sure. I mean 2 ticks, 3 ticks, 4 ticks, 5 ticks or 6 ticks. 2 out of 8 to 6 out of 8. All of these are possible. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 8. All of them are possible. So finally the question says, what is the ratio? 2 out of 8 to 6 out of 8. 0.25 to 0.75. That is the range we're looking for. How many questions created by Amal or Bimal were disapproved by at least one of the other reviewers? This is created by Bimal. This is approved. So not that. This is created by Bimal and been approved, but Komal has disproved it. So this one will count. Question number 3 is disapproved by Komal before going to Amal. This one B, Komal approves it, so this one won't get counted. Straight away approved. This one is created by A, Bimal says no to this, and then it goes to Komal. So this one will get counted. It's created by SME, we can ignore. Amal has created it, goes to Bimal, Bimal says no, and then Komal says no also. So this will get counted. Next one is K, ignore that. B, created by B, Komal says no, and then Amal says no, both no, so this will get counted. Then created by A, goes to Bimal, Bimal says no, then Komal says no, this will also get counted. That we won't count. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Question 3, 7, 9, 11, 12 have been created by A or B and been disapproved by at least one other reviewer. Fine. Javelin Throw is a beautiful, delightful set. I must confess that I had a really tough time solving this. I had muddled up one of the data points. It's a beautiful set. It's very frightfully, it seems like it's light on information, but it carries a lot of depth. There's some nuances in math and simplifying that if you get it, then you get a kick out of it and it all falls in place miraculously well. But otherwise, it's a nice, challenging set. It took me a long time to solve this. Fine, let's attack this. Absolutely delightful set, but super tough. Super tough. The one thing that I didn't like about slot 3 was 3 sets were easy. They were walk through. You just look at them and write down the answer. And one was freakishly tough. I can totally imagine someone attempting the other 3 and getting 14 questions right without breaking sweat. Not without breaking sweat, but without being impossibly a genius and getting 14 correct like that. And someone else getting stuck in this for 25 minutes and scrambling 4 correct with equal levels of talent and skill. So that way I didn't like the slot. It heavily dependent on, okay, are you going to get mired in this or not? That's the one thing that's going to be the swing factor for this DILR. I don't like that. I don't like that one decision being so heavy. But hey, who am I to crib? I want to solve this question and enjoy solving that. 10 players, P1, P2, P3 till P10 competed in an international javelin throw event. The number after P of a player reflects his rank at the beginning of the event, with rank 1 going to the topmost player. Reasonably intuitive. There are 2 phases in the event. First one consists in runs 1, 2 and 3. Second phase 4, 5 and 6. A throw is measured in terms of the distance it covers in meters up to 1 decimal point. Only if a throw is a valid one, otherwise it's not counted. For an invalid throw, the distance is taken as 0. A player's score at the end of a round is the maximum distance of all his throws up to that round. If in round 1 you do 90, in round 2 you do 88, your score will be 90. Whatever is your best throw, that's taken as your throw. Players are re-ranked after every round based on their current scores. In case of a tie in scores, the player with a prevailing higher rank retains the higher rank. So, if I am at 90 and someone else is at 87, both of us throw 92. Both will be 92, but the one who got from 90 to 92 will rank higher than the one who went from 87 to 92. This ranking determines the order in which the players go for their throws in the next round. Lovely. In each of the rounds in the first phase, that is round 1, 2, 3, the players throw in increasing order of their latest rank. The player ranked 1 at that point throws first, followed by the player ranked 2 at that point, and so on. So the first round, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, P8, P9, P10, they would have all thrown. Then the table would have been drawn. The best one gets the first stab at it. And the top 6 players at the end of first phase qualify for the second phase. Lovely. So 4 are kicked out. In each of the rounds in the second phase, the players throw in decreasing order of their latest rank. So there are 6 players. The one at the weakest will start. The strongest will end. So presumably, if you're at an advantage, you know what your target is exactly when you go there to grab your medals. Right? The player ranked 6 at that point throws first, followed by the player ranked 5 at that point, and so on. The players ranked 1, 2 and 3 at the end of the 6th round received gold, silver and bronze medals respectively. Beautiful. All the valid throws of the event were of distinct distances. There's no tie. Thank God for that. The tables below show distances covered by all valid throws in the first and third round in the event. First round, all valid throws, P1, P3, P5, P6, P7, P9 are these numbers. This tells us that P2, P4, P8, P10 have thrown 0. Invalid throws. P2, P4, P8, P10. 4 are at 0. Nice. Distances covered by all valid throws in the third round. P1 is 88.6, P3 is 79, P9 is 81.4. 7 invalid throws, which is beautiful. All zeros. So we don't, maybe life is simpler there. So super. 6 numbers we know, the remaining 4 are 0. 3 numbers we know, the remaining 7 are 0. In round 1 and round 3, we know that. So at the end, beginning of round 1, the order would have been P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, P6 till P10. After round 1, the best throw belongs to P7, I think. P7 would have started round 2. After 87.2, we have 86.4, P5. After this, we have 84.1, which is P9. 82.9, which is P1. 82.5, P6. And 81.5, P3. This would have been the sequence after round 1, followed by P2, P4, P8, P10. Those 4 sit after them in that order. And then round 2 they have thrown. Then round 3, there are 7 zeros and only these 3. Among the throws in the second round, only the last 2 were valid. Very nice. Only the last 2 were valid. So 8 are zeros, which is brilliant. Both the throws enable these players to qualify for the second phase, with one of them qualifying with the least score. None of these players won any medal. This is brilliant because in round 2, there were 2 valid throws and 8 zeros. In round 3, there were 3 valid zeros and valid throws and 7 zeros. They're going to pretty much tell us the entire dashboard at the end of round 3. We can get that because we know the 6 throws here at the top of the table. After this would have been P2, P4, P8, P10. P8 and P10 do well in round 2 and climb up the table. Once you have climbed up the table, they're going to be from last, they creep into the top 6 at the end of round 2 because they qualify. And they're not the ones who have thrown a legitimate round 3, so they're straight away into the top 6. At the end of round 3, there's some change perhaps, and then 4 guys get kicked out, 6 guys remain. So super useful. If a player throws first in a round and he was also the last among the players in the current round to throw in the previous round, then the player is set to get a double. First now, I stood last. I was last, now I'm throwing first. Then you get a double. In each round of the second phase, exactly 1 player improved his score. Each of these improvements was by the same amount. Round 4, round 5, round 6. They might have thrown a valid throw, but scores improved only for 1 person in each one. So since you've got the table, only 1 moves in each round. Only 1 improvement was there in each round. The gold and bronze medalists improved their scores in the 5th and 6th rounds respectively. 1 medal winner improved his score in the 4th round. 1 medal winner improved in 4th round. Gold and bronze medalists in 5th and 6th round. So anyone who is improved has got a medal. If you're showing some improvement in rounds 4, 5, 6, you're a medal winner. Only medal winners have improved there. The difference between the final scores of the gold medalist and the silver medalist, as well as between the final score of the silver medalist and bronze medalist, was 1 meter. Finally, a number is thrown. So, x plus 1, x minus 1 for gold, silver and bronze. Brilliant. I'm going to attack this. Pre-round 1, this is the order. This is round 1, what has happened. So after round 1, the order is very simple. At the end of round 1, P7 will go first, then P5, then P9, then P1, P6, P3, P2, P4, P8, P10. At the end of round 1, this is sequence. These 4 being zeros. Brilliant. So let's consolidate that and put all this in. In round 2, these 2 get good scores. So these 2 will climb up. Say one gets X, one gets Y. These 2 climb up. And these 2 go to the bottom. P2 and P4 go to the bottom. P8 and P10 climb up. They will go above. They are not the ones showing improvement in round 3. So they don't just go into top 8, they go into the top 6. Right? So X and Y, but they are not here. These 2 scores go here into the top 6 somewhere. They have to sit in the top 6. Round 3, P1 scores an 88.6. It will no longer be 82.9. It will become 88.6, which is brilliant. P3 scores a 79. 79 is a valid throw, but it doesn't change our table. It doesn't change the number on the table. P9 scores an 81.4. 81.4 is a valid throw, but doesn't change our table. 84.1 is a better throw. This is brilliant because we know now that P1 has 88.6, P7, P5, P9, P6, P3, we've got all of their scores. And 8 and 10 qualifiers. If we look at qualifiers, at the end of round 3, these 2 should have been in. They're in. We've already been told that. We've also been told that there are only 6 qualifiers. These 2 are definitely out. They put 3 invalid throws. They're out. So these 2 are in. Out of these 6, 4 should be in. The best standout performance is 88.6. That is in. After that comes 87.2. This is in. Then an 86.4. This is in. Then 84.1. This is in. These 2 are out. P6 and P3 get disqualified. So these 2 scores don't make the cut for phase 2, rounds 4, 5, 6. Brilliant. So which also means X and Y have both got greater than 82.5 because they qualify. They're above 82.5. P8 and P10 both have more than 82.5. They have qualified. P6 and P3, these 2 are out. Right? So 88.6, 87.2, 86.4, 84.1, those 4 are in. Between P8 and P10, both of them qualify. Both of them don't win medals. And one of them is the just last one to qualify. So you see this constraint, the description here. One of them qualifying with the least score. So between P8 and P10, both qualified. So both have got more than 82.5. Both have to sit on this table somewhere, but one of them sits right at the end, the other sits somewhere here. One of them sits right at the end, P8 or P10, the other one sits somewhere here. It could be right at the top, right in the middle, somewhere here, in between these 2, in between these 2, in between these 2, somewhere there. And so one is right at the end. Brilliant. So far so good. The gold and bronze medalists improved their scores in the 5th and 6th rounds. Respectively, one medal winner improved his score in the 4th round. The gold and bronze medalists improved in R5 and R6. One of the medal winners improved in the 4th round. We know one thing, P8 and P10 did not win a medal. And so the one inference we can make is P8, P10 did not improve. Which means one of them was the last. P8 or P10 was the last at the end of round 3, did not improve his score at all, would have been last at the end of round 4, last at the end of round 5, last at the end of round 6. At the end of round 3, he grabbed the last position, he was the last position, And end up round 4, round 5, round 6, he continues to be last. One of them. The other sits somewhere here. His ranking could have got down if someone else has overtaken by improving, but his ranking has not improved. He's not put a better throw. Whatever they had, they're hanging on to it. They did not have an improvement. P8 and P10 did not improve, so they were not medal winners either. So gold and bronze medalists improved their scores in the 5th and 6th rounds. One medal winner improved in the 4th round also. Only medal winners improved. P8 and P10 did not win a medal. They did not improve. So out of these 4, some have improved. In each round of the second phase, exactly one player improves his score. Each of these improvements was by the same amount. The difference between the final scores, the gold medalist and silver medalist, as well as the silver medalist and bronze medalist, was 1 meter. This is brilliant. And so think about this. There are 4 players. Now imagine these on the number line. And say, look, I'm putting the number line here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some 4 numbers like this. There are 3 improvements that we know. Gold and bronze medalist improved, and 1 medal winner improved. This is 88.6, 87.2, 86.4, 84.1. If you notice, 88.6 to 87.2, this difference is 1.4. 87.2 to 86.4, this is 0.8. 86.4 to 84.1, this is 2.5. My diagram is not to scale, but don't mind that. There are 3 improvements by X, X, X. Imagine that by the same amount. And so, none of these end in the same decimal point. But there are 3 scores that are to end at the same decimal point. There are 3 scores that are to end at the same decimal point. Why? Because the difference is exactly 1 meter. 3 scores are at x plus 1, x minus 1, same decimal point. So all 3 could end in 88.6 or some 0.6, not 88.6. All 3 could end in some 0.2. All 3 could end in some 0.4, some 0.1, hypothetically. But if all of them show the same improvement, 3 people show the same improvement, 1.4 will become 1.4 plus x, 0.8 will become 0.8. The difference is going to remain the same. This will move to the right by x, this will move to the right, this will move to the right. If you improve some 3 of this by the same amount, the difference is going to remain the same. If I put a plus x here, a plus x here, and a plus x here, assume hypothetically, then this difference is going to remain the same. The only possibility is this difference. That difference might differ by 1. But this one won't differ by 1. So there is no possibility of getting 1 and 1 more 1. If 3 of these are shifted, any 3, and so plus x plus x plus x. So these 3 are moving by the same amounts. That means this difference will be 1.8, this difference will be 2.5. No change in that. There's only one other difference. That difference could be 1, that difference could be 2, but nothing else will happen. We could add x here, here and here. We cannot get it. So there is a problem here. If we move 3 of the scores by x, we are never going to get that one difference in 2 places. It's simply not going to happen. Because if I move this, this and this, it's like 3 numbers are there. If I move all 3 by x, difference is going to remain the same. So this difference and this difference are going to be the same. So this difference could be 1. But there will be no difference of 2. This difference could overshoot it and be more than this by 1, more than that by 2. Whatever it is, we are not going to have difference of 1 and 2. So x plus 1, x minus 1, the decimal point should be the same. If I take this 87.2 to 89.6, I'm adding 2.4 to that. I have to add 2.4 here, I have to add 2.4 here. None of this will give me another 0.6. If I contrive and make this end with a 0.6, this won't end with a 0.6, this won't end with a 0.6. If I contrive and make this end with a 0.6, those 2 won't happen. They're all different decimal places. So what does that tell me? That tells me one beautiful thing. There are not 3 players who are improving. There are only 2 players who are improving. two players are only improving, one player is improving twice over. So instead of 4 points in being like this, what is actually happening? If you put them on a number line, if you put 4 points like this, one player improves and another player improves twice over, and therefore we have a medal, 3 medal winners. So there's one player who's showing 2 improvements and another player who's showing 1 improvement. So the gold medalist, gold and bronze medalist improved in rounds 5 and 6. The guy who improved in the 4th round is also either the gold medalist or the bronze medalist. One player has shown improvement in 2 rounds, another player in 1 round. Right? So out of these, one player has improved twice equal quantities, 2x, and another player has improved by x. Right? That brings us to a brilliant point. Let's assume P1 doesn't improve, hypothetically. That means out of these two, some 2 have improved. Any 2 have improved by how much ever quantity, P1 will be at worst 3rd. Right? If this has been 2x, this has been x, there can be a change in sequence, but P1 is getting a medal. Only 2 players have improved, it means P1 is getting a medal. If P1 has improved himself, he is definitely getting a medal. So the one thing we can conclude for sure, P1 has definitely got a medal. P8 and P10, they definitely don't get medals. P1 is definitely a medal winner. P1 is through. P1 is getting a medal. One of the scores for either gold, silver or bronze is 88.6. Done. That's a big breakthrough. It's a huge breakthrough because now we can say the medal winning scores could be 88.6, 87.6, 86.6 or 89.6, 88.6, 87.6, 90.6, 89.6, 88.6 are the medal winning scores end in 0.6. Brilliant. That's a big giveaway because now this guy, assuming he goes to a medal winning score, then he should have scored from 87.2 either a 0.4 or a 1.4 or a 2.4 or a 3.4 or a 4.4 or a 5.4 or a 6.4. No, not even 4, 5.4, 6.4. 87.6 takes him to 0.4, 1.4 or 2.4. 87.6, 88.6, 89.6. This guy 86.4 to 87.6. 1.2, 2.2, 3.2. This guy 84.1 to 87.6. 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. This ends in 0.5, this ends in 0.2, this ends in 0.4. Now what are we thinking? Very simple. One of these leaps is twice another. This cannot be twice. This is 3.5. There's no points to 5.75. 3.5 into 2 is 7. 4.5 into 2 is 9. 5.5 into 2 is 11. This is out. One of these numbers is twice another. You just scan the numbers. 1.2 into 2 is 2.4. Or we have a scenario where this guy has had a 1.2 advantage. This guy has got a 2.4 advantage. We are through. 87.2 plus 2.4 takes us to 89.6. 86.4 plus 1.2 takes us to 87.6. Or the scores are 89.6, 88.6, 87.6. And then we can go step by step and redraw this. So P7 finally wins by going to 89.6. He has gone to 88.4 in round 4 and 89.6 in round 5. P5 goes to 87.6. He puts 87.6 in round 6. He was 86.4 before that. Goes to 87.6. So 88.6 is P1. He doesn't improve his score and stays as silver. 89.6, 88.6, 87.6. Now P10 or P8, P8 or P10. This is greater than 82.5. This is less than 87.6. That much we know. It could be here also in this range. P8 or P10, P10 or P8. Right? Now let's look at this final thing. If a player throws first in a round and he was also the last to throw in the previous round, then the player is said to get a double. And last at the end of round 3 is P8 or P10. Right? And P8 or P10 would have thrown first in round 4. Last person throws first. whoever was last at the end of round 3 last is P8 or P10. Round 4 first throw would have been P8 or P10, whoever this was. Again continues to be last, P5 they would have been first, again continues to be last, P6 they would have been first. Whoever was last here does not improve his score, stays as it is. If they're 82.6, it stays as 82.6. Their best throw is what they threw in rounds 1, 2, 3 or round 2 to be precise. After that, there will be no improvement in the score. Round 3, round 4, at the end of round 3, at the end of round 4, at the end of round 5, at the end of round 6, the same person has been last. That person would have thrown first in round 4, round 5 and round 6, all three. Now, that player would have got a double. What by this definition? The player throws first in a round and he was also the last to throw in the previous round, and the player is said to get a double. So this P8 or P10 would have got a double in round 4, round 5 and round 6, all three. But there's only one player. We told two players got a double. That's confusing because one player has got a double multiple times, but two players have got a double. So we have to go back all the way to our round 1. At the table after round 1 is this. After round 1, P7 was first, P10 was last. After round 2, P4 was last. Here we throw in descending orders. So in round 2, P7 would have thrown first. In round 3, whoever was the first would have thrown first in round 3. So P10 was last at the end of round 1 could have climbed up in round 2. So in round 2, P10 has a good throw. He could have been such a good throw that P10 at the end of round 2, having been last at the beginning of round 2, by round 3 he goes all the way to first. He is the first to throw in round 3 in spite of having been last before that. So P10 was last and then he goes all the way to first throw, or P10 should have thrown in such a good number that having been last at the end of round 1 manages to be the first person throwing. That means from last to first, P10 is the only one who could have made this journey from last to first. So it's going to be in descending order. We've gone from last to first. The only person who could have done that is P10, or P10 goes from last to first. Here, P10 is the other person to have got the double. This step could not have been P8 because P8 would have been ranked higher than P10. So in one of the rounds, in the first phase, P10 would have got a double. That means in the second phase, P8 would have got a double. That means the last player to qualify should have been P8. And the person above would have been P10. P10 does not win a medal. So we know the P10 does not win a medal, but he's done a double. And P8 is the other person to have done a double. P8 has got the score. Really challenging set. Absolutely brilliant. Each sentence is loaded with some meaning, some funda, somewhere sitting there. Now let's go to the question. Having gone this far, which two players got the double? P8 and P10. You know that. Nice. We just went through that. Who won the silver medal? P1 with 88.6. Done. Who threw the last javelin in the event? At the end of round 6 is this last javelin. That means the person at the end of round 5, whoever was first would have got thrown last. At the end of round 5, P7 would have been first. Because P7 throws 88.4 in round 4, 89.6 in round 5. So if you would have been first on the leaderboard at the end of round 5, you would have been the last to throw. And by the time he comes to throw, he knows he's already bagged the gold medal. So the last throw should have been by P7. What are the final score of the silver medalist? 88.6. That is there. Which of the following can be the final score of P8? P8 got more than 82.5, less than 84.1, which was the last to qualify. He qualified, but he was the last. More than 82.5, less than 84.1. By how much did the gold medalist improve his score in meters in the second phase? Gold medalist went from 87.2 to 89.6. And so 1.2, 1.2, two improvements of 1.2, 2.4 meters. Let's see. Let's attack this set. This is a far simpler set. Lovely set. So, the figure above shows the schedule of 4 employees, Abani, Bhani, Dani and Tini, whom Dhoni supervised in 2020. Altogether, there were 5 projects which started and concluded in 2020, in which they were involved. For each of these projects and for each employee, the starting day was the beginning of a month and concluding day was the end of a month. And these are indicated by the left and right end points of the corresponding horizontal bar. Okay. So this is Jan and Feb, this is Feb and March, Feb, March, April, and so on. The number within each bar indicates the percentage of assigned work completed by the employee for that project as assessed by Dhoni. So Dhoni says Dani did 90% of the work in those 3 months. Tini did 100% of the work in those 3 months. Abani did 100% of the work in those 2 months in project 3, and so on. Abani is red, Bhani is green, Tini is yellow, what is it? Dani is black. They all started and worked in different times and had different project months. So Abani has worked in project 1, project 3 and project 4. Tini has worked in 1, 2, 4, 5. Each of them has worked in different projects, have worked for different timelines and have completed different percentage of the task allotted to them. A brilliant chart that captures everything. For each employee, his or her total project month is the sum of the number of months she worked across the 5 projects, which is nice, add everything up. While his annual completion index is the weighted average of the completion percentage attained from different projects, with the weights being the corresponding number of months she worked in these projects. We work for 4 months and percentage completion is 80%, 4 weightage of 80%, and then you simplify it. For each project, the total employee month is the sum of the number of months of 4 employees worked in this project, while its completion index is the weighted average of the completion percentage assigned for the employees who worked in this project. Nice. So number of months total is the employee months. And then completion indexes, take a weighted average of percentage completed. With the weights being the corresponding number of months they worked. Lovely. Which of the following statements are true? 1 second. Project month, and for each employee there is a project month angle and an employee month angle, both ways. Which of the following statements are true? The total project month was the same for the 4 employees. The total employee month was the same for the 5 projects. Project month for each employee. For Abani it is 2, 4 plus 5, 9. Abani is 9 months. Bhani is 2 plus 3, sorry, not 3, this is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 3, 2 plus 4 plus 3, again 9. Tini is 2, 2, 3, 2, 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2, again 9, I'm hopeful now. Dani is 3, 3, 2, 1, again 9, lovely. So the total employee project month was the same for the 4 employees. All 4 employees work for 9 project months each. The total employee month was the same for the 5 projects. This is employee months is 6 for project 1. This is 3 plus 2, only 5 for project 2. 2 plus 4, 6 plus 3, 9 for project 3. Straight away that doesn't work. Statement 1 holds good, 2 doesn't hold good. We're through. Nice, simple. Which employees did not work in multiple projects for any of the months in 2020? Abani worked in Feb, March, May, June, and then starts here July onwards. So not Abani. Bhani, so did not work. So Abani did not work. We should be counting Abani. Bhani, no overlap here, no overlap here. Yes. Tini, no overlap here. There is an overlap here, so Tini shouldn't get counted. Dani, no overlap here, no overlap here, no overlap here. So Abhani, Bani and Dani, A, B, D. Lovely. The project duration measured in terms of the number of months is the time during which at least one employee worked in the project. Which are the following pairs of project had the same duration? This is project duration is 3 months, 1, 2, 3. This again is 3 months, 1, 2, 3, end to end. This goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. This one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, again 5 months. Project 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 months. So 1 and 2 had the same duration. 3 and 4 had the same duration. We're either looking for 1 and 2 or we're looking for 3 and 4. 3 and 4 sitting here. Done. The list of employees in decreasing order of annual completion indexes. Okay, decreasing order. Completion index 2 into 100%, 2 into 100%, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 into 80%. 5 into 80 is 400. 4 into 100 is 400. 400 plus 400, 800 by 9. So Abani is 800 by 9. Each of them did for 9 months. That is super useful. You should remember that. So Bhani 2 into 100, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 into 75. 4 into 75 is 300. 200 plus 300, 500. 500 plus 270. That is Bhani is 770 by 9. 270, 300, 200. 500, 770. Dhani, let's count Dhani. 90 into 3, 270, 100 into 3, 100 into 2, 100 into 1, 100 into 6, 600 plus 270, oh that's a rock star performance, 870 by 9, Dhani should be first, 90, 100, 100, 100, and then Tini, 80, 100, 100, 100, so 2 plus 3, 5 plus 2, 7, 700 plus 160, so this is 860 by 9. 870 by 9 and 860 by 9. So Dhani, Tinni, Abani, Bunny. DTAB. Yep, DTAB. Done. Beautiful. Lovely. Let's go to the next slide. Each of the bottles mentioned in this question contains 50 ml of liquid. The liquid in any bottle can be 100% pure content, P, or can have certain amount of impurity, I. Visually, it is not possible to distinguish between P and I. Yeah, so we need some tests. There's a testing device which detects impurity as long as the percentage impurity in the content tested is 10% or more. But it's 3%, 4%, 7%, it won't. 10 or more, it will count. For example, suppose bottle 1 contains only P and bottle 2 contains 80% P and 20% I. If content 1 from bottle 1 is tested, it will be found out that it contains only P. If content of bottle 2 is tested, test will reveal that it contains some amount of I. If 10 ml of content from bottle 1 is mixed with 20 ml content from bottle 2, 10 from this and 20 from that. So 10 ml is pure, 20 from that will have 16 ml of pure and 4 ml impure. So 10 plus 16 by 30, that will be the purity content. 10 ml of bottle 1 and 20 ml of bottle 2, the test will show that the mixture has impurity. Yeah, the mixture impurity level is more than 10%. 30 ml total, 4 ml impurity, more than 10%. It will show there is an impurity. However, if 10 ml of content from bottle 1 is mixed with 5 ml of content from bottle 2, the test will not detect any impurity. This is 20% impure. This 5 ml is 1 unit of impurity. 1 by 15 is less than 10%. You are mixing in the ratio 1:2, impurity will be detected. 2:1, impurity will not get detected. The weighted average impurity, if it is more than 10, it will get detected. Less than 10, it won't get detected. If you are mixing them in equal quantities, it will be exactly 10, in which case it will be detected. Impurity in the content tested is 10% or more, so it will get detected. Brilliant. 5 ml of content from each of the bottles mentioned in this question contains 50 ml of liquid. 5 ml of content from bottle A is mixed with 5 ml of content from bottle B. The resultant mixture, when tested, detects the presence of A. If it is known that bottle A contains only P, bottle A contains only P. So bottle A is 100% P. P should, we are mixing equal quantities. So the impurity level should be more than 10%, should be less than 80% of P. This is 0% I. If this had 20% I, they are mixing in equal quantities. This should have greater than or equal to 20% impurity. That's what they are saying. What is the best that can be concluded about the volume of I in bottle B? More than 20% should be there. 20% of 50 ml This 10 ml. So at least 10 ml of impurity should be there in bottle B. At least 10 ml, 10 ml. Bottle A has 0% impurity. You're mixing equal quantities. The average goes 10 or more. The impurity level in B should be 20 or more. 20% impurity is 10 ml, 10 ml or more. Done. 4 bottles. Each bottle is known to contain only P or only I. They'll be considered to be collectively ready for dispatch if all of them contain only P. In minimum, how many tests is it possible to ascertain whether these bottles are collectively ready for display? So, P, 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 or one of them is I. Very seemingly tricky question. It's very easy because the impurity is pure impurity. It's not 5%, 10%, 15%. So let's assume there is one impure thing. P, 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 I. What will we do? We'll mix everything. Equal quantities. Equal quantities mix all 4. Given in that mixture, 25% impurity will be there. That will get detected. So what do we? So if there is, if all of them contain only P, then it will be dispatched. What will we do? We'll collect equal quantities from all 4, put it in one box and test that. If that one shows impurity, that means there's at least one impurity. Because even if there is one impurity, that will have 25% impurity. 1 out of 4. 25% impurity will get detected. So PPPI will get detected, PPII will get detected, PIII will get detected, III will get detected. You take all 4. You take all 4 equal quantities, put them and test them. If impurity is detected, one of the 4 is impure. If no impurity is detected, then all 4 are P. It's the simplest way of testing. Take equal quantities of all 4, put in and detect. In one measurement, we can find the answer. Mainly because whatever is impure contains only impurity. It's 100% impure. So even if 1 out of 4 bottles is impure, it will show up on the test when you do equal quantity. In one test, we can do this. 4 bottles, it is shown that 3 of the bottles contain only P, and 80% P. What is the minimum number of tests required to definitely identify the bottle containing some amount of I? Very interesting. Let's say this is A, B, C, D. We need to detect not only, we know that 3 of these bottles contain only P, while the remaining one contains 80% P and 20% I. We cannot test all 4 put together. That's pointless. It will give us no impurity. We're dead. We take 2. Then say A. If we take 3, PP, 80% P. If you take any 3, it will give us no impurity. There's no point. 3 out of 4 will not detect. All 4 put together, if you put equal quantities of all 4, no impurity will be detected. If you put equal quantities of 3 out of the 4, no impurity will be detected. Because P plus P, no impurity. P, 0.8P is 2.8P out of 3, more than 90% P, won't get detected. No point putting 4 together or 3 together. The result is already known. If you take one at a time, test this. First one is pure, second one is pure, third one is pure, we can say the fourth one is impure. Or anytime you get impure, we can do. But if you want to be foolproof, then you'll take at least 3 tests. We need to see if we can do it with less than 3 tests. Only possible option is test 2. Take A and B, test. This could turn out to be pure, or this could turn out to be impure. If this turns out to be impure, that means one of A and B is impure. Both were pure, this cannot happen. So what do we do? Now test A. Okay, done. Put A and B, mix them together equal quantities, test that. If that turns out to be impure, then out of A and B, one is pure, one is impure. One is pure, other is 80% P. Test A. If A turns out to be pure, B is impure. If A turns out to be impure, we've already got that. If this AB mixture turns out to be pure, that means both of them are pure. Very simple. Test C. If C turns out to be pure, then D is impure. If C turns out to be impure, C is impure. Nice and simple. Take some 2 bottles, test them, and then test based on that result subsequently. So we should have in 2 rounds of testing, we can simplify this. So what is the minimum number of tests required to definitely identify 2 rounds? There are 4 bottles. It is known that either 1 or 2 of these bottles contains only P. The remaining ones contains 0.85 P and 0.15 I. 85% P and 1%, 15% I. So there is 1 P or 2 P's, 0.85 P, 0.85 P, or P, 0.85 P, 0.85 P, 0.85 P. It is known that either 1 or 2 of these bottles contains only P, while the remaining ones contain 85% P and 15% I. What is the minimum number of tests required to ascertain the exact number of bottles containing only P? So it's either this sequence or this sequence. Okay. First of all, if you weigh all 4, put all 4, this will come out pure. Put all 4, put them together. P 0.85, P 0.85 will be 92.5, will be pure. This 0.85 into 3 is 2.55 plus 1, 3.55 by 4. This is less than 90%. This will turn out to be impure. Nice. So what do? We take equal quantities of all 4. Equal quantities of all 4. Take that. So put all 4 equal quantities, put them in. If the outcome is pure, that means we have this 2 pure and 2 impure. If the outcome is impure, that means we have this. All 4 we put together. This will result in impure, this will result in pure. Put all 4 together and test. In one test we can do. Because we know for sure either this or this. Put all 4 equal quantities. This will result in a negative test, impure. This will result in a positive outcome. So with one test, we can complete this. Hello guys, if you are looking for a wonderful preparation schedule for CAT which tells you what you should do on a week-by-week basis and a day-by-day basis, go no further than to IM. So just check out the description here. It's a fabulous link. Click that and then just see what variant of it works for you. Download this, stick it somewhere and you're good to go. Best wishes.